Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rebel Ramblings. On today, at least when I'm recording this, hopefully when I'm posting it as well, is May 21st, 2023, which is the anniversary of the original release of The Empire Strikes Back, which means it was released 43 years ago today. So I definitely wanted to do something Empire related, even though I already have. And I was actually trying to think of what could I do? And then it hit me like, oh, TaunTauns, perfect. Now, this is my preview series. I know we're getting a couple new viewers who may not have seen the very first video. So my preview series is a series of stuff that I'm just showcasing of things that I will be opening up. It's a lot of different lines from over the years. All this stuff is going to go into my eventual Star Wars room. I'm going to do a big display, but until that room is ready, I'm doing what I'm calling my preview series, so I'm just kind of quickly showcasing different things before I eventually open them. And in honor of Empire Strikes Back, I'm doing some Hoth stuff. So again, TaunTauns, I will be showcasing both of them. So this is the Han Solo TaunTaun, as you can see here. This is apparently a Target exclusive, and I'm blanking on which line this was. It wasn't the Legacy Collection. This was the one, I think, right after that. And you can see this is a set. It's called The Search for Luke Skywalker. And what I really liked about this one, I actually saw this on an Only One Kenobi video, and he had this set that he opened, and that's kind of what sold me on this one, because I was trying to figure out, well, which TaunTauns I would go after, because we've had, obviously, several different releases over the years, but this one just seemed like a perfect fit. One, the detail on the TaunTaun, which I'll showcase in just a moment, plus it comes with that Han figure, that Han Solo figure, which looks really, really good. And it comes with that extra Hoth Rebel soldier right there as well. So before I take a closer look, let's take a quick look at the back. I don't think there's really anything else on the box. No. So as you can see on the back, basically just shows off the figures real quick. Actually, let's take a look, because since I won't be opening this, you can see a better look at the details of the Han Solo figure. And this is actually a really, really good Han figure, especially for Hoth. This actually might be probably the best one they've done, at least up to now. So that's that. And then there's the Rebel soldier and the TaunTaun. And just a quick description of the scene. And I do like, actually, this little bit at the top. It's got just a little film strip of that scene in the film, which is nice. Nice little touch there. And nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. So let's take a closer look at these figures. So first off, look at the detail on that TaunTaun. That looks so good. This was also another reason why I wanted to kind of go for this one. Just the amount of detail in the tail, the fur, the legs, you know, obviously the face. And there's that Han Solo Hoth figure, which again, you can kind of take off some of that stuff so it's not so crowded. But again, it's just a really, really nice figure. It's, again, kind of mixed. A little bit of soft goods mixed with plastic. And then finally, the Hoth Rebel soldier. See, just a good soldier, even though we've gotten some good ones in the Vintage Collection. But again, this is a nice figure as well. This is, I think this is a line that came out, I think, right before the Vintage Collection. And the thing I like about this too, which I've mentioned before, is just I love the fact that, you know, it's open. You can see the figures, you can see the TaunTaun. I love that little graphic in the back there as well. That's just a nice touch. So again, this was definitely, you know, when I was trying to think of like which TaunTaun to go after, this was definitely the one I wanted to look for, especially once I saw Nick's video, Nick over at Only One Kenobi. And obviously to go with it, because I went with that one, I had to go with the Vintage Collection TaunTaun for Luke. Now, unlike the Han Solo one, this does not come with a Luke Skywalker. It's literally just the TaunTaun. And ironically, I actually got a really good price on the Han Solo one. And even though this one is just a TaunTaun, this one cost actually about the same. Even though it's literally, there's nothing more to it. But again, it's the Vintage Collection, another Target exclusive, as you can see there. And I think just the Vintage Collection just tends to cost more. But there's a nice picture underneath. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. That's actually a nice picture right there. And let's see, another one on the side here. Okay, and there's actually a nice one right there. Again, the two TaunTauns, actually there's three TaunTauns in that picture. That's a nice image right there. And then finally the back, which just showcases some of the details of the TaunTaun, which, yeah, I mean, it moves its arms and legs. Now it does not, as far as I know, it does. The belly does not open up on either of these, so you can't shove Luke into either Tauntaun. I mean, technically it should be Han's, but to my knowledge, you cannot open up the belly. So again, so there's Luke's, and I do actually have this figure carded, but I did get one from Tungori, so that means I do have an extra one. Let's take a quick look at this figure. Now this is basically based on, you know, when you kind of first see him before you can really see his face. And just like all the other vintage collection, there's a lot of articulation and stuff. You know, all the major joints can move and everything. A lot of detail. And it did come with, does come with a pistol, which I'll showcase right here, which you can see right there. And it does come with a lightsaber. It doesn't have a, it doesn't ignite or anything. I can't remember. Maybe the package one does come with a blade you can attach. But for this one, because I did get it loose from Tungori, it just came with the hilt. So you can remove the scarf, but you got to kind of pull off his head, pull off scarf, and then put his head back on, which is okay, but you can tell, look at that, it's kind of got a bit of a gap. So I kind of wish like you could have, it looks, I wish he looked a little bit more like he did with just like the scarf around his neck, you know, after he's pulled off all this stuff. And it's actually a decent figure too. I mean, even just from a sculpt, I know they've nailed Mark Hamill a lot more on more recent figures, but I think that's actually pretty good. And I'll put that back on. So yep, there's the Vintage Collection Luke Skywalker Hoth figure. And again, I do have one carded, but I'm so glad that I was able to get one loose. And originally I was only going to do the TaunTauns, but I was like, you know what? Since I'm doing the opening of Empire anyway, let's just go ahead and include the Wampa. So there were a couple different Wampas that have been released over the years, different versions. I decided to go with this one mainly because you can actually sort of build part of the cave where you hang Luke. So we'll take a quick look at the Wampa itself. You can see very, very good sized. And his arm does come off, and it does come with that little bit, I believe, of the Tauntaun that he's eating. That's some nice detail in this figure. I think there's one other version that might be a little bit more recent that I think sculpt-wise is a little bit better, but I really wanted this version of it. Let's take a quick look. Look at that. That's gnarly right there. Awesome. And there's a picture, obviously it's from the special edition, and then there's part of the cave. So you can see that. There's even some bones kind of right there. So take a look at the back here at this packaging. As you can see, so his arm can come off, you can have him eating, and then this whole thing where you can create the part of the cave and you can hang Luke up. That was kind of really the selling point, because this is the scene I wanted to recreate that'll go on one of my shelves eventually. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these figures from the time. Would like to get that R3PO. I think Tungori has that, but I think it kind of sells out a lot. I do have this General Regan with the tactical display. This 3PO looks pretty good with the escape pod, although that escape pod is way too small. If it was bigger, actually I probably would have been a lot more interested. But anyway, so there's what you can recreate, and which obviously meant if I got the Wampa, I had to obviously get the Luke to go with it that has the rest of the cave that you can put together. And this is actually a good looking Luke figure. As you can see in the face, of course, he's already got like the scratches from when he's attacked, which is good. Comes obviously with a lightsaber and some goggles and stuff. And then same thing on the back. As you can see, it's part of the base, and you can build that whole thing, which again was my goal for getting both of these figures. So yeah, so there is the Wampa and Luke after he's attacked. So something a little special to celebrate the release of The Empire Strikes Back. And again, this is definitely two different displays that I can't wait to set up. One obviously with the Wampa and Luke in the cave, and then the other one with the TaunTauns. I think the TaunTauns, I think I'll just have Han and Luke just next to each other on the shelf or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out once, again, once my Star Wars room is a lot more ready to be set up. So let me know what you think. Do you have any of these, or if you have them from a different line, let me know your thoughts. And if you have any suggestions about how I might want to display them eventually. So again, happy anniversary, The Empire Strikes Back. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.